I'm here to teach you about propane and propane accessories. That's right, today we're learning about metalworking and Project Zomboid. Sure, fine, you can piddle around with your carpentry and woodworking in your silly little crates, whatever. But are you sure you're gonna compare these houses? Do you really feel safe behind some planks of wood, or do you want to be safe behind an entire sheet of metal? That's what I thought. Hey fella, my name is Matsy and I'm here to teach you how to play survival games. You don't look too good, bud. Here, put one of these on. A lot better. Not only does this welding mask serve as some excellent face armor, it's also necessary for welding. Shocker, I know, but there's more. You also need a propane torch. Speaking of which, you're going to need a propane tank or two lying around to keep that torch topped up. You don't want to run out of fuel too late and have an endless horde barreling down your trap maze. Sorry, that's Night of the Dead, not Zomboid. Now, where's a simple fella like me going to find these things? Well, the torch and mask can be found in logging factories, sheds, garages, tool stores, storage units, and crates. You might even get lucky and find one in the trunk of a construction worker's vehicle. I'm sure he's not going to mind if you borrow them. You're going to bring them back, right? You'll also find welding rods in those same locations. Make sure to pick up plenty. They're used in every construction recipe. One full bag of welding rods will hold 20 units, and most recipes you might use call for anywhere from 2 to 4. Now, the propane tanks are a little easier to find, actually. You can take them from some barbecues you find outside. Just right-click the barbecue and the option should pop up. Otherwise, they'll be found in industrial warehouses. If your ambitions are in check, you should only need one of these tanks lying around. That's not all you need. You will have to pick up some metal sheets, small metal sheets, metal bars, metal pipes, scrap metal, and wire. All of these can come from disassembling, but for the first few levels, you're not going to get a whole lot of usable material. I'd recommend hunting these down in the same places you're searching for the propane torch and mask over disassembling. You should pick up the books as soon as you can to speed up the leveling process, since you're really only disassembling items to gain the first 2 levels, not the materials they could and likely won't yield. If you don't have a lot going on in your day, you should start by disassembling showers, baths, toilets, and kitchen appliances. They're all prime targets. But if you're out and about, you can disassemble car wrecks, dumpsters, and vending machines that you pass by. There's a list from the wiki of other things I didn't mention that yield XP. Not all of them are worth it, but here's how many of each it would take you to level up twice. Naturally, you're going to need to learn the recipes for most of the things you're wanting to construct. Now, you can look like a weirdo and go to the school's library to maybe find these magazines, or maybe you can take a trip to the bookstore. Return that copy of Animal Farm you checked out 13 years ago. Maybe, I'm not your dad. Luckily, the first thing you're wanting to do doesn't require a welding mask or welding rods. Just the metal sheet or the 3 metal bars and a propane torch. These barricades have 100 hit points each, and more if you've taken handy. Outside of barricades, metalworking allows you to construct wall frames, fences, gates, metal floors, shelves, crates, counters, and lockers. But it's all chrome, baby. None of that rustic aesthetic here in the future, Biff. Metalworking is definitely a late game skill. Don't bother putting any stock into it until you've got a good rhythm to your survival and can afford to lose some days to grinding through the early levels. I prefer the look of metal structures in a zombie apocalypse myself, but piddling around with your woodworking and carpentry will keep you safe in the meantime. While you have all these options, what should you make? I'd recommend sticking it out with crates for storage. They don't require a wall, and you can just place them wherever you want and stack them on top of each other. You can use wooden wall frames and make your metal wall over those to save yourself some material. And the double gates are for cars to pass through. If you've got the patience and the materials, you could make a sick gator on the perimeter of your base and top it off with a driveway. I do not have that patience. The log wall I built for the farming video was debugged in. I'm not sorry.